The biggest threat to the real estate industry are not the high interest rates. It's not the low inventory of houses on the market. The biggest threat to the real estate industry are these commission lawsuits going on nationwide. I'm going to break down for you what these commission lawsuits mean to the real estate industry and why it's the biggest threat to the industry in decades. My name is Alfonso Gomez. I'm a seasoned real estate broker. I have over 23 years of experience, and I'm a third-year law student. Now, I do need to disclaim, I am not a licensed attorney. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not giving you legal advice. So enjoy. First, I'd like to start with the parties. Who is suing who? The home sellers are suing the real estate industry. They feel that they overpaid in commissions. Who are they suing? They're suing the National Association of Realtors, the major franchises, and the local and statewide MLSs. Now, that's who they originally sued. I want to tell you, there's been a lot of updates from the original lawsuits, but I'll do different videos for that one. Let's get back to this lawsuit. What's the complaint? There's 4 topics I'm going to cover in this video. There's other things they sued about, but these are the big ones. Anti-competitive rules, antitrust or Sherman Law violations, conspiracy. They also are suing for inflated commissions and unfair compensation. I'll be breaking those down as we go along. So the best way to explain this to you is to tell you about the current system of buying and selling homes. Before I go there, I want to go in detail as to what is and what role does the National Association of Realtors play. The National Association of Realtors is the largest trade association in America. They have over 1.5 million members. That's straight off of their website. I want to let you know that as of late, they've lost hundreds of thousands of members, mainly because of these lawsuits. We'll make different videos for that down the road. Don't forget to give me a follow. Now, what does the NAR, National Association of Realtors, do for realtors? Well, they have content, they have professional development, and they also are an advocate in Washington, D.C. for the industry. So the National Association of Realtors helps realtors in their day-to-day work. One of the things they also do is they have a very strict code of ethics. Now, the code of ethics are the rules that realtor members have to follow. Now, you don't have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors to be in real estate. But I got to tell you, it's almost close to impossible to conduct your business as a professional realtor without being a member. So, by de facto, you have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors. One of these rules that the National Association of Realtors have is called the Clear Cooperation Policy. The issue. This policy is the reason we are in these lawsuits. Let me break it down. The Clear Cooperation Policy requires that a seller's agent, once they get a listing contract and announce it to the public, have 1 day to put that listing into the MLS. That is very important, so please listen to me on this because here is a lot of intertwined issues in this policy. So the listing agent or the seller's agent gets a listing from the seller. The seller says, sell my house. They get that listing and they put it in the MLS. The MLS is basically a privately owned system owned by realtors to advertise and offer compensation to cooperating brokers. That's the purpose of it. Mainly to offer compensation to cooperating brokers. Now, a lot of people think that the MLS is there mainly to promote houses for sale. It's not. It's mainly for cooperating brokers to know what they're going to get paid. So, back to my example. The seller agrees to sell their house. They find their realtor. They tell them, I'll pay you 6%. That realtor takes that house, takes a lot of pretty pictures, makes a beautiful description, and puts it into this privately owned MLS. Nobody else can get into that MLS other than members. they agree to pay the buyer's agent 3% out of that 6% if they bring a buyer and they close the transaction. This offer of compensation is a unilateral offer of compensation. Once there is a unilateral offer of compensation, that listing agent cannot pay any less. They cannot offer the buyer's agent any less. That buyer's agent sees how much they're getting paid and they go out and try to find a buyer. They bring it to the seller, submit their offer, and hopefully we can close the transaction and the listing agent gets 3% out of the 6 and the buyer's agent gets 3% out of the 6. Everybody's happy, right? Wrong. The sellers are not happy, and that's the reason of the lawsuit. Why are they not happy? Well, they're arguing why they need to pay the buyer's agent's commission of 3%. Why would they need to pay an agent that they didn't pick? Why would they need to pay an agent that they never met? Why would they need to pay an agent that is going to be going against the seller's interest? That means that the buyer's agent is going to be representing the buyer, and for the most part, they're going to try to get the price down. And after home inspections and reports, the buyer's agent is also going to be working for this buyer and try to get the seller to do all the repairs or give some credits. So the sellers are standing there wondering, gee, why do I have to pay that guy? I don't even know who he is. For all I know, he's not very experienced. He doesn't know how to do the contract. He's not very professional, but they still have to pay him. The unilateral offer of compensation has been laid out, and there's no more negotiation about it. As a buyer's agent, you can request a higher commission that's being offered. But in my 22, 23 years of experience, I gotta tell you, I've personally never seen it where the seller or the listing agent are willing to pay you more to make the deal happen. Contraire, I've seen them have you pay less than what they offered to make the deal happen. But who's cut out in all of this? The seller. The seller has very little to no say on that. Anti-competitive rules, antitrust rules. I hope you followed. Now pay attention to this. This is where it gets interesting. The sellers are saying this inflates the commission. Now, why does it do that? Because of the buyer's agent dilemma. Think about this. You're a buyer's agent. You're doing your job. You have a buyer, but there's 3 houses that match their criteria. The 3 houses are similar in price. They're similar in square feet. They're similar in condition. There's 3 houses. One is paying you 1% commission. The other one's paying you 2% commission. The third one's paying you 3% commission. Now, I know all my realtor friends are going to tell me, well, I'm going to show them all 3, and I'm going to let the client decide. Good on you, and I hope that you do. And I do my best to do the same. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, and the client inevitably will turn to you and say, gee, Mr. Professional Buyer's Agent, which house do you think I should submit an offer to? And that professional buyer's agent looks at the commissions and sees that one is 1% and one is 2% and one is 3%. And they ask you, which one should they submit the offer to? Well, gee, I don't know. I'll let you decide that. What do you think? Write in the comments what you think the buyer's agent's going to do, or what you think they'll do, what they should do, and what they actually do. I know my answer. For the most part, I've been seeing this happen year in and year out. Houses that stay on the market for a very long time are either overpriced or the commission is on the low side. That's my opinion. Now, the conspiracy. Now, in order for you to have a conspiracy between a group of people, for the most part, the law is going to require you to, get in a room and collude. Come up with this plan, this grand scheme to keep prices high, to keep commissions high. So does that happen in real estate? Of course not. I've never met with the National Association of Realtors, the California Association of Realtors, the MLS. I've never met with a bunch of other realtors and said, hey guys, let's keep commissions high. No, but what the sellers are saying, that by forcing all the members of the National Association of Realtors to follow the clear cooperation policy, by de facto, we all are conspiring. So nobody can deviate from putting that listing that you picked up into the MLS, which is privately owned, and offer a unilateral compensation, offer of compensation, a unilateral offer of compensation. You have to do that. So by de facto, we are all conspiring to keep commissions high, to keep competition out, because only members are able to enter houses into the MLS and offer a commission. And you cannot pay commission to anybody who is not a member of the MLS. And if you do, there's all kinds of hoops to jump through. So there you have it. That's what these lawsuits are all about. And guess what? On October 31st, 2023, the first shoe has fallen. The first lawsuit that successfully was against the National Association of Realtors and the major franchises for a whopping $1.8 billion in the state of Missouri. That case was found to be in violation of all those elements that I told you, which is conspiracy, antitrust, anti-competition, the violation of the Sherman Act, unfair compensation, keeping the commission inflated, everything. They were found guilty on everything. Now that case is on appeal, so we'll have to see what happens, but things aren't looking good. A ton of copycat lawsuits have spread throughout the nation, from California out to Florida, through Texas. It's all over. It's a wildfire right now. These commission lawsuits are the biggest threat to the real estate industry. That, my friends, is what these commission lawsuits are. And that, my friends, is why 2023 will be known as the beginning of the end of the way real estate agents get paid through their commission. In conclusion, I got to tell you, these commission lawsuits are not going away anytime soon. What do you think? Do you think that the sellers are right? Do you think that the current way of doing real estate is better? You see, one of the arguments to keeping the system the way it is now is that without the way we have the system now, home buyers are not going to be able to afford to pay an agent their commission, and so they're not going to be represented, which is a good argument, I have to say. Right now, home buyers typically barely have enough for their down payment and closing costs. Now you throw in the agent's commission, I'm not sure they're going to be able to afford that. So that's one downfall of making the system that we currently have go away. Nonetheless, what do you think? Should we keep it the same? Should we make it new? I'm not sure. I would say we have to look at a happy medium. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to give me a follow. I will be doing more supplemental videos to this, so I'll break down these very important items a little more in detail by themselves. Give me a follow. Thanks.